Have you been thinking about how to innovate your direct mail approach? At the Monthly Giving Summit, Letter Labs is hosting a workshop on day 2, which is February 26th, called Ink That Converts, Rethinking Direct Mail for Deeper Donor Connection and Growth. In this session, you will build a dynamic, modern direct mail strategy designed for 2026 and beyond that's innovative, automated, and actually feels human. If you've been wondering how direct mail fits into this digital first world and specifically your nonprofit, this workshop will completely change how you think about it and give you the time and the experts in the room to workshop it with you. So RSVP for free at monthlyGivingSummit.com or click the link in the show notes. Welcome back to Missions to Movements. We are in the Monthly Giving Prediction number 5 out of 6 series. Retention is built before the gift. If you have missed 1 through 4, you can go back and listen to any of these New Year bonus episodes, part of this series. And today I'm talking about the fact that the traditional funnel is a little dead. And I think we're all proving it in how we just live our lives. And that idea that someone, they discover you, then they subscribe, then they donate, then they get nurtured, then they stay forever. That neat linear journey that we always used to track, that I always used to talk about, that's not how we are behaving. And if the retention strategy still assumes that path, then we need to rethink some things. Enter in the modern donor journey and what that looks like. So here's a sample of what today's donor might do instead. They might see a reel from your organization or someone on your team or a content creator or an influencer or a friend. They might then Google your organization. They might click around on a website, but maybe not give. They might then research your leadership and connect with a founder on LinkedIn and read some of those posts for a couple weeks. They might watch how you respond to something that's going on that might be relative to your cause area. They might lurk quietly. They might do a lot of lurking. And then one day they will decide. It wasn't necessarily a perfect attribution. There might not be a true maybe aha moment that's trackable in the CRM of what exact moment led them there. But I was just on a call with a friend of mine, Jordan Gill. She's amazing, from Systems That Saved Me. And she showed me this tool. Let me look at my notes, called Hydros, Hyros tracking. And it was fascinating. And I wonder how much of this exists in the more, I don't want to say complicated, but kind of complicated CRMs that are out there. And it showcased somebody clicked on her ad 3 times before making a purchase. It showed somebody looked on a website, wrote an email, clicked on an ad, like all of the journey actions. I guess some of this, if you're tracking Google UTMs, you're able to see some of this journey. But I think that was so interesting and that it's messy. We bounce around. Like you might watch an organic reel, then see an ad, then go to the website, then send an email, then we like bounce around. It's just human. It's just what we do. And I think it's this shift that we need to kind of catch up to. And that retention doesn't start after the gift. It's built so far before it. And this matters, I think, more than ever, because if someone gives today, it's rarely because of one thing that happened. It's not just your subject line. It's not just the matching gift deadline or the perfectly timed appeal. I think it's because of your consistency, like you're showing up. You are creating trust. You're showcasing your values that feel clear. You are storytelling all the time. Donors understand the why, not just the need that you have. And there is visibility. They have seen you enough to believe in what you're doing and that you're still going to be there and you're going to follow through. So by the time that someone donates, they're often just confirming a decision that they've already made emotionally. So that's why I think retention doesn't only live in the donor emails that you send or the thank you pages or the stewardship workflows. It's truly being built everywhere. And why things that don't look like fundraising are actually retention strategies. For example, I tend to believe that leadership visibility matters. People don't just trust organizations, they trust people. So when leaders share context and speak with clarity and show consistently over time, they show up, they lower the emotional risk of giving. And I think that narrative consistency matters. So another way to think about this is if you're website says one thing, but then your social media bio maybe says another, and your posts are saying something different. And then your emails are talking about something else, some other story, and it feels disconnected. Maybe they feel unsure about what it is that you're trying to express. And uncertainty can really harm long-term commitment. Okay. So I think leadership showing up matters. I think narrative consistency matters. And I think showing up matters. So, and I think this is what many, many, many of you already do already. You're showing up not just during campaigns, not just during crisis, but in the in-between moments where you're really enforcing this is who we are, this is what we stand for. Because reach without connection doesn't renew. So a reframe here, instead of asking, how do we retain donors after they give? Think about and start to look at and figure out if you can find out, how are people experiencing us before they ever give? Because donors are forming opinions about you far long before the welcome series or the receipt email or your snail mail gift comes in. By the time retention becomes your job, that outcome may already be decided for how long they're going to stick around. And then we can only do more on the back end of getting them to stick with us for the long haul. And I think another question we're sitting with, and maybe you create like a small focus group and ask some of your monthly donors this, but is what made your most loyal donors trust you before they ever gave a dollar? Was it a story that they read that they couldn't forget? Was it a leader? Was it you that showed up consistently? Was it a moment where you named something that they were already feeling? Because I think these moments matter a lot and it's important for us to start to track and understand. Leading into the next final prediction of this series, we're going to talk about where monthly giving is headed next. And that's not just more screens, not just better tools, but it's a shift towards shared, real life connection, belonging, and what that means for the future of donor relationships. You know what I'm going to say. If you have not yet RSVP'd for the Monthly Giving Summit, it is happening February 25th, 26th. It is virtual. There are VIP ticket options available. If you would like recordings, go to monthlyGivingSummit.com, or you can click the link in the show notes. And I hope to see you there and in the next episode for prediction number 6.